It was a bright sunny afternoon when my daughter, Emily, lost her tablet. The day had started like any other. Emily, with her boundless energy and infectious enthusiasm, had been glued to her tablet since the moment she woke up. She loved that device. It was her gateway to a world of games, educational apps, and most importantly, her favorite YouTube channels. We decided to take a walk to the park, something we often did on weekends to enjoy the fresh air and spend some quality time together. Emily, as always, insisted on bringing her tablet. I hesitated, knowing how absorbed she could get with it, but ultimately agreed. After all, it was a beautiful day, and I wanted her to enjoy it without any arguments. We left the house around noon, the sun shining brightly overhead. Emily skipped ahead, her tablet clutched tightly in her small hands. We walked along the familiar path to the park, chatting about her favorite shows and what she wanted to do when we got there. As we neared the playground, Emily's excitement grew. She loved the swings and the slides, and I was looking forward to seeing her face light up with joy. At the park, Emily quickly became engrossed in playing. She set her tablet down on a bench near the swings and ran off to join a group of kids who were playing tag. I watched her for a while, enjoying the sound of her laughter and the sight of her running around with carefree abandon. It was one of those moments that make parenting feel like the most rewarding job in the world. After a while, I sat down on a nearby bench, engrossed in a book I had brought along. Time flew by, and before I knew it, an hour had passed. I glanced up to check on Emily and saw her still playing happily. It was then that I noticed something alarming. The tablet was no longer on the bench where she had left it. Panic set in immediately. I stood up and walked over to the bench, hoping that my eyes were playing tricks on me. But the tablet was definitely gone. I called out to Emily, and she came running over, her face flushed from running around. "Emily, where's your tablet?" I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. She looked at the empty spot on the bench, and her face fell. "It was right here," she said, her voice trembling. "I put it right here before I started playing." We searched the entire area around the playground, asking other parents and kids if they had seen a tablet. But no one had noticed anything suspicious. It was as if it had vanished into thin air. Emily's eyes filled with tears, and my heart ached for her. "I'm so sorry, sweetie," I said, hugging her tightly. "We'll keep looking, but it might be gone." We spent the next hour combing the park, but it was no use. The tablet was gone. Emily was devastated, and I felt helpless. On the walk back home, she was unusually quiet, her eyes downcast, and her shoulders slumped. When we got home, I tried to cheer her up with her favorite snacks and a movie, but nothing seemed to lift her spirits. She kept asking about her tablet, and each time I had to tell her that we hadn't found it, her face fell a little more. It was heartbreaking to see her so sad. The next few days were tough. Emily kept hoping that somehow the tablet would turn up. She asked me to check the park again, which I did, but there was no sign of it. She even drew posters with a picture of the tablet and her name, asking if anyone had found it, and we put them up around the neighborhood. But no one called or came by with any information. One evening, about a week after the tablet had gone missing, I sat down with Emily to have a serious talk. "Emily," I began gently, "we need to talk about your tablet. I know you're really sad about losing it, and I am too. But we have to accept that it might not come back." She looked up at me, her eyes wide and filled with tears. "But I loved that tablet, Mom. It had all my games and videos on it." "I know, sweetheart," I said, hugging her. "But sometimes things happen that we can't control. Maybe someone found it and needed it more than we did." She nodded slowly, trying to understand. "Will I ever get a new one?" I smiled, trying to lift her spirits. "Well, your birthday is coming up in a few months. Maybe we can see if we can get you a new one then." Her face brightened a little at the thought. "Really?" "Really," I assured her. But until then, let's focus on all the other fun things we can do. We can play outside, read books, and do crafts together. There are lots of things we can do without a tablet. Emily nodded, still a bit sad, but starting to come to terms with the situation. Over the next few weeks, we did our best to keep busy. We spent more time outside, playing in the park and going for walks. We read books together, did puzzles, and even tried some new recipes in the kitchen. Slowly but surely, Emily began to adjust to life without her tablet. As her birthday approached, I started saving up for a new tablet. I knew how much it meant to her, and I wanted to make sure she had a special birthday despite the setback. I also wanted to teach her the value of patience and resilience and how to find joy in other activities. The night before her birthday, I stayed up late, wrapping the new tablet I had finally managed to buy. I added a few small gifts as well, some new books, a puzzle, and a handmade card. I wanted her to know that she was loved and appreciated, and that her happiness meant the world to me. On the morning of her birthday, Emily woke up to the smell of pancakes and bacon. She came downstairs, her eyes wide with excitement. "Happy birthday, Emily!" I called out, hugging her tightly. "Thanks, Mom," she replied, her face lighting up with joy. "What's for breakfast?" "Your favorite," I said, setting a plate of pancakes in front of her. "And there's a surprise for you after breakfast." She ate quickly, her curiosity piqued. Once she was done, I handed her the wrapped box. She tore off the paper eagerly, revealing the new tablet inside. Her eyes widened in disbelief. "Is this really for me?" she asked, looking up at me with a huge smile. "It sure is," I replied, smiling back at her. "Happy birthday, Emily. I hope you like it." She hugged me tightly, her joy infectious. "Thank you so much, Mom. This is the best birthday ever." The rest of the day was filled with happiness and excitement. Emily spent hours setting up her new tablet, downloading her favorite apps and games. We had a small birthday party with her friends, and she proudly showed off her new device to everyone. As the day came to an end, I watched her with a sense of pride and relief. It had been a challenging few months, but we had made it through together. Emily had learned valuable lessons about patience and resilience, and I had been reminded of the importance of being there for her, no matter what. In the end, it wasn't just about the tablet. It was about the love and support we had for each other, and the joy of seeing my daughter happy. And as we settled down for the night, I felt grateful for the bond we shared, and the many more adventures and memories that lay ahead. As the days turned into weeks, Emily's excitement about her new tablet only grew. She spent her evenings exploring new apps and games, sometimes even showing me her latest discoveries. I was glad to see her so happy and engaged again. One day, while Emily was at school, I decided to take a walk through the park where she had lost her old tablet. It was a beautiful day, and I thought it might be a good idea to retrace our steps and see if I could find any clues. As I walked past the playground, I noticed a man sitting on the same bench where Emily had left her tablet. He was staring at something in his hands, and as I got closer, I realized it was a tablet. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be Emily's lost tablet? I approached the man cautiously. "Excuse me?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I couldn't help but notice your tablet. My daughter lost hers a few weeks ago in this park. Do you mind if I take a look?" The man looked up, surprised. He handed me the tablet without hesitation. "I found this here a while back. I tried to find the owner, but no one claimed it." I turned on the tablet, and sure enough, Emily's name popped up on the screen. My heart raced with excitement. "This is my daughter's tablet," I exclaimed. "Thank you so much for keeping it safe." The man smiled warmly. "I'm glad it found its way back to the right hands. Make sure to tell your daughter to be more careful with her things." I thanked him profusely and hurried home with the tablet. When Emily came back from school, I showed her the tablet. Her eyes widened in disbelief, and then she broke into a huge grin. "Mom, you found it!" "Yes, sweetie, I did," I said, hugging her tightly. I met a kind man at the park who had kept it safe all this time. Emily was overjoyed. She now had 2 tablets, but more importantly, she had learned a valuable lesson about responsibility and the kindness of strangers. We decided to donate her old tablet to a local charity, hoping it would bring joy to another child in need. The experience had brought us closer as a family, and it had shown Emily the importance of gratitude and generosity. She had learned to appreciate what she had and to be mindful of her belongings. And as she grew older, these lessons stayed with her, shaping her into a thoughtful and caring individual. Years passed, and Emily continued to thrive. She excelled in school, made new friends, and pursued her passions with determination. The memory of her lost tablet became a fond story we would occasionally share, a reminder of a time when a simple act of kindness had made a world of difference. And as for me, I cherished every moment with my daughter, grateful for the bond we had forged and the lessons we had learned together. Life had its ups and downs, but through it all, we had each other. And that, in the end, was what mattered most.